The purpose of fasting. Discovery of God's blessings. Today, instead of fasting, I will speak about hunger. When I was young, once I had the desire to know what hunger really was. On an occasion, I had to travel towards the South India from Azamgarh. The journey took me more than 2 days. Whenever a station would arrive, I would not be bored to eat food, although I had money. When it was more than 2 days, my hunger increased. The train stopped at a station where there was a canteen. People started proceeding towards the canteen. I too went in the direction of the canteen, but due to unbearable hunger, I could not see properly where the canteen was located. Someone took my hand and took me to the door of the canteen. When I went inside, everything was dark in front of my eyes. People were sitting and having their food. Since I could not see properly, I began to sit upon someone else. Then people pushed me and took me to an empty seat. I was on my way to Bengala. I could not differentiate between tables and chairs. One person took me to a chair and another ordered some food for me. After I had food, I gave a 100 rupee note to the canteen staff. He returned some change to me. I began to leave without taking the money, so he stopped me and put the extra money in my pocket. The incident that followed was very unique. I reached Bangalore. The city was different from what we see today. One day I was walking on the street. After a while, someone held my clothes and pulled them. He was a stranger to me. Then he told me that he had seen me at a canteen and thought I was drunk at the time. I was actually not drunk, but I was not able to see properly, so I was walking randomly, not being able to differentiate between tables and chairs. Later, I realized why the person thought I was drunk. The fact is that I was in a state of unconsciousness due to extreme hunger, not because I was under the influence of alcohol. Now I have realized that hunger is something which suspends all the functioning of our body. After having food and water, a mechanism is set in motion which involves assimilation of the food in the body. It is indeed unique. You need food. Without it, you cannot do anything. This food grows from the soil, then water pours over it, and several other mechanisms follow. Finally, the food gets assimilated in the body. This is a unique mechanism. You cannot make anything work like this. Food and water convert into energy to give you strength. No factory can do this. Convert food items to cells and tissues of your body and provide energy. The food and water you take undergo conversion to give you energy. A British poet was once sitting adjacent to the dining table. He was not eating himself, but watching people and children eat. He then uttered, "It is very odd as can be. Whatever Misty eats turns into Misty." Food and water are separate entities outside the body of Misty, but when she eats them, a natural mechanism is initiated. It is like a factory which converts the food she eats into blood, bones, and tissue, everything that gives you life. When I thought about this incident, I remembered another incident. It is said about the prophet that he broke his fast with water. He was thirsty and drank water. Then the prophet uttered, "Thirst is quenched, blood vessels are refreshed, and the reward is confirmed with God." In other words, when I had water, I got energy. My hands and legs began to walk. This is the mechanism of nature. When you eat food and water, it is converted into energy. This is what fasting reminds you. The mechanism of nature is indeed unique. The sun gives you sunlight, rivers, clouds shed water from above. The whole universe is active to provide food to you, energy to your body, make you one who can see, hear, and so on. Fasting is to remind you, if there is no water, you would be like the dead even though you were alive. Fasting is not so that you eat elaborate, delicious food. A Persian poet had said, people started eating more and more. What is actually desired during fasting is to discover what food is and what God's blessings really are. You are not required to eat a lot and then burp. You must discover the importance of God's blessings: water, wind, food, crops, every edible item. All these are unique blessings. Fasting is meant to give you an experience of hunger. I had experienced hunger and then also experienced what eating food was. This is the purpose of fasting. That is, you need to think how material things become part of the human personality. I urge you all to discover this truth during fasting. God created you in this world, then gave you a custom-made universe. Everything that gives you energy has been spread out here in the world. In one word, I will say that fasting is meant so that you can experience hunger, and when you break your fast, you should have discovered the greatness of God, how God has scattered His great blessings throughout the world for us.